I don't care if you live in a bubble, but you need to understand that there's a whole world out there outside your bubble.
That's right. Thank you for your question, and we hope we have sex soon. Hello, it's Hazel.
It's Azura.
And welcome to a special episode of Clarity's Hush Podcast.
I'm a bit scared of this one.
Hey, we just did this at the same time. You know why? Because we have worked together for 2 years on Clarity's Hush Podcast, and we have this chemistry between us. My God. And to celebrate the second anniversary, we'll be doing like special episodes like this from time to time. It may be just one of us, two of us, or like three of us. You know, you got to stay tuned to catch like these surprises.
That's right. But I always need support, so I rather like three of us.
Yeah, exactly. But anyway, today's just going to be both of us in orange, and we are going to be doing an AMA episode.
Ask me anything.
How did you know? I had to ask them what AMA meant. So these questions are from our followers, our listeners on Hush Podcast and like on Instagram.
Okay, so it'll be interesting to know what they're curious about.
Okay.
Okay.
Bring it on. What is your biggest takeaway from hosting on Hush Podcast?
You go first.
My biggest takeaway is this friendship. Without a doubt, I feel like Hush Podcast has elevated this trio, me, Zura and Germaine, and unknowingly many people out there on the streets just walk up to me and just tell me like, you know, how much Hush Podcast has influenced their lives and how they love our vibes together. And also it has gotten us a lot more attention from our bosses, so thank you, Clarity. Okay, next question.
Next question.
How does it feel like having so many crew members watching us from behind the cameras? So just for example, for today, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 of them watching us.
Okay, actually I got two answers to this.
Okay.
Sometimes I look at it and it feels unreal because when we started, there was like 2 of you or like 3 of you at max. Very recently, I actually took a picture from where I was sitting and there was like 10 of you. And it really felt like, how did we get here? You know, we started with literally 2 people running around doing cam, doing lights, doing sound all on their own. And now we have like more than enough hands that it feels like.
Well, I feel happy having so many people watch us from behind the screens. You know, they are our source of like support. Every time we crack a bad joke, they are the ones who laugh and make me feel good about myself, ourselves for that matter. So I really appreciate it. And I just hope this team continues growing. Yeah. We continue bringing more content to our listeners of Hush Podcast.
But also because it's so intimate and because we are so close, we trust them so much. Whenever we're like, you know, doing an episode, when we're filming, we don't actually feel like there are people watching us.
Correct.
It just feels like it's completely okay to tell them these things.
So many times we accidentally curse on the Hush Podcast, but then
Sometimes purposely lah.
yeah, sometimes on purpose, yeah. And they help us cut it away lah. So nice, right, these people. Okay, next. What do you think the future of Hush Podcast would look like?
Wow. I hope for it to expand further. I hope for it to expand further in ways where we can touch on even more things. I know that we've touched on a lot of things, but I feel like there's so much more out there because, right, with every episode that we put out, I still see comments of people saying, thank you for this episode. We really related to this. So I feel like there must be so much more out there that we haven't spoken about. And maybe I think it would be very nice to be doing Hush from all over the world.
Yes, that's exactly what I wanted to say. I feel like 3 of us, we can bring the Singaporean point of view overseas. Let people abroad know more about how we think, how we function, you know. This is a really, really good idea.
Yeah.
Don't you think?
Yes, I can be your fixer. Okay, let me tell you, my life's goal is to be a life fixer.
You fix what? Sometimes she's so broken herself.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine.
No, I feel, right, like I'm that person who has a person for everything. So I just want to be a life fixer where you need something, you call me, I link you up with the person that you need. That's my job.
That's very true.
That's my aim in life.
That's very, very true.
Can you fix my love life?
Send me your requirements in your CV, thank you.
She definitely can. She definitely
For sure.
can. Yeah.
I just did that yesterday.
And to our listeners, if you don't already know, we have had season 1, season 2, season 3 of Hush Podcast, and we are on season 4 ever. So this is the future of Hush Podcast, and I'm so looking forward.
Yeah.
Next. This user, Josh_Nathan97 asks, how would you perceive a 25-year-old guy with no sexual experiences?
And no dating experience. How would I perceive
As a young woman.
We very young, man?
We young, right? We young? Are we young?
Yang lah.
Okay lah. About 4 out of the 9 people behind the cameras are nodding their
Only
head.
4?
Only 4.
The rest of you, hello?
Okay lah. Now they knock a bit harder. Okay.
Okay.
How would I perceive a guy at 25
let
years
me
old?
twist this a little bit for you.
Okay.
Would you date someone who has never dated before and you're his first girlfriend?
Why not?
I will say don't.
But answering to Josh's question, I feel like at the age of 25, I haven't dated before. It just proves that you're very innocent, and this can be very sweet to some girls because they
Yes.
feel like you can love her with all your heart.
Okay.
So this is not necessarily a bad thing.
I don't think it's a bad thing. This is what I think about it. If this is the case, I feel like Josh_Nathan97, what you need is a very wide world view. Like, I don't care if you live in a bubble, but you need to understand that there's a whole world out there outside your bubble. And if you understand that, then you'll be okay.
That's right. Thank you for your question, and we hope you have sex soon. Mary Mika asks, do you think relationships are actually just societal structures?
Yes and no. After we did that episode on situationships, everywhere we go,
Yes.
people ask, actually, what is a situationship? And I've been explaining over and over and over again.
So, are relationship societal structures?
Maybe a marriage is, but I think a relationship may not be that, because you see, at the end of the day, everybody has feelings, right? And at some point, that's why there are situationships. Because at some point, even without societal pressure, you will wonder, like, am I allowed to do this? Do I have access to this person in this way? Because what are we anyway?
Well, I feel like my answer to that question is a hard yes. We have spoken about this in so many episodes, especially the one we had with Jin on the LGBTQ. Everything is just based on how society perceives you as an individual or as a duo. Unfortunately, I feel like that is the case, but that doesn't mean that we can't love and we still can't have fun.
If you like someone who is in a relationship, would you tell them?
Okay, this is from this user. I shall not name him or her. Username begins with M.
You know him, ah?
Don't know.
I also don't know.
I also don't know. So we can be honest lah.
Yeah.
3, 2, 1, yes or no, okay?
Hold on.
Three.
Tenang.
If you like someone in a relationship, would you tell them? 3, 2, 1.
No.
No. We have morals, baby. We are good people. Don't be the third party lah. Unless that person, walks out of that relationship, then I feel it's okay for you to approach him or her,
No, you see, even if you don't have intentions to do anything about it, even if you just feel like you need to let your feelings known, why the other person up? I'm sorry that you feel that way. I know it's a lot to deal with. Of course, internally, you're probably like kicking yourself or whatever it is, but I think some things you just gotta do, lor, and you really just gotta keep it to yourself, lor.
But if that person reciprocates your feelings, then I think it's an entirely different story.
Settle one problem first, then you move on to the next problem, okay?
Life fixer. Question from Shaza. Do you have any tips for dealing with regrets in life? Tell me, life fixer.
I'm hippie, yeah? We all know this. So the answer will be very hippie, you know this. I don't think you should waste your energy regretting anything. Like, obviously, once in a while, it'll cross your mind, like, if only this and if only that. But you really cannot do anything about it. And I think the best way is to really just make the best of what you can right now. Because it will really do you nothing.
Correct.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we don't have a time machine. So use this regret that you feel to channel it towards making your life better.
Yeah.
And better for the people around you.
Yeah, and honestly, as cliche as it sounds, I really, really feel like no matter what that situation is, there's going to be something that comes out of that. It may be good, it may be something that teaches you something, and you may not see it now, but I tell you, you will see it in time. You really will see it in time.
And most importantly, say sorry to the people that you may have offended. Maybe this is something that you regretted doing.
Yeah.
Say sorry, move on, and be a better version of yourself.
Even if it was yourself.
Okay, if we were not radio DJs, what would our professions be? Oh, I'm someone who wants to wear many hats at the same time. I want to be a dance teacher. I want to be an air stewardess, a Chinese tuition teacher, a wedding planner. I want to be a live streamer. I want to sell stuff on blog shops. Yeah. Off the top of my mind, these are the things I want to be.
Okay, actually, right, if I could do life again, I would either want to be an ice skater or a patissier.
What?
like go to France, like learn from some like crazy ass pastry school.
Okay.
And then basically like high-end pastry stuff,
Uh-huh.
like pastry chef, but like a patissier. Yeah.
If we had $1 million each, how would we spend it?
I'll invest it and then I'll live off the dividends.
No way, Azura, you won't do
For
that.
f***ing sure.
Oh my gosh, no you won't.
I really will. Because I'll have enough returns to live off it.
What if you lose the investment?
Won't lah.
Okay. I want to give my parents 100K each, and then this leaves me with 800K. Invest 400K, and the remaining 400K, like I'll buy a property, buy some bags, maybe start a shop, and then start selling the pastries that Azura baked.
Sorry, 400K cannot even buy one property.
It's
400K
true that it's
cannot even
really
buy
true.
one property, but it can pay for my down payment.
Correct.
Hopefully.
No, that's why you invest the money first. Then the returns eventually, right, will snowball ma.
True lah. So if I have no more money to do the other things that I want my 400K, then I will borrow from Azura.
Can lor, no problem. Really no problem.
When is our dear Germaine getting married? I'll be very, very honest. I don't know. But when I do, yum yum tum tums, I'll let you know.
I think it's a question that none of us can answer. Neither can she.
Oh, interesting question. One last question. How did the three of us become friends and what made us decide to be the host for Harsh Podcast? So I met Germaine during
TikTok.
Circuit Breaker. Yeah, we did like this duet dance thing on TikTok. That's how we became friends. Eventually we met up for coffee. I met Azura on certain like MediaCorp filming things, this exercise thing. Do you remember? A long time ago in Red Hill. I bet your ass she doesn't remember. Yes, that's how we met the first time. But there was one time, Nas, our OG producer of Harsh Podcast,
Yes!
arranged a meet-up over coffee
That's right.
to talk about like this entire new Clarity project.
Exactly. And I remember my first question to her, right, was if this doesn't take off, will you get your old job back? And she said, honestly, I don't know. And I was like, oh my god,
We
someone's
have to
job
make
is
it
on
work.
the line.
After the first season of Harsh Podcast, we became so close. We took things to like, even after Harsh Podcast, we had dinners together in a radio contest.
Yeah.
We went out together.
Yeah, honestly, we see each other almost every day.
And I love that. This is the most beautiful thing about Harsh Podcast, which really like links back to the very first question that was being asked. What is the most beautiful thing that Harsh Podcast has brought us?
And I only think that I feel like it has only gotten this far and it has only worked because of this bond as well.
Not just between us and our producers as well, so
That's
many
right.
of them, between us and our listeners, all of you who took so much time to always send in your DMs and tell us what you loved about the episodes that we put up. So thank you so much for
Thank
that.
you very
Thank you for your
much.
constant support. Like in the blink of an eye, we are at the 2-year mark. My
That's
goodness.
crazy.
My goodness, it's incredible. So, thank you so much for supporting us. I hope that we still have your support for the years to come. We
Yes.
really look forward to making our dreams come true.
Oh, yes. We look forward to bringing you, Hush podcasts from
All over the world.
all over the world. Southeast Asia. How about South America? That would be nice. I would like to do an episode from Machu Picchu.
So with that, we have come to the end of our special episode on Clarity's Hush Podcast.
I
Ask me
love this.
anything.
I love this. So if you have like more comments, more questions or anything, just send it through. The saucy ones, where are they?
Drop us a DM on Instagram at isclarity.co and don't forget to listen to our podcast.
Me listen, Apple Podcasts, Spotify.
Thank you so much and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Happy birthday to Hush.
Even though it's AMA, right? Can you really ask us anything?
Never mind, lah, we don't answer. You have to cut away.
No, but we... No more saucy questions. That's the sauciest of it.